Ladies and gentlemen, Sukhoi back. I'm flying out the Focke-Wulf 190 Dora. I'll be flying out a couple more after this one as well. I'm going up against this P-51 pilot who asked us, hey, can you teach us how to dogfight? And I said, sure, and you know what? What better time to put ourselves in a disadvantage than when teaching someone? But here we go. We're going to go into the merge with the 51. So we do have a couple tricks up our sleeve, and that is our takeoff flaps don't rip until like 600 or 660 kilometers an hour, and our roll rate is extremely good, probably the best out of any prop. You can really use it to nose counter people, get them to overshoot. But the trick is you will probably spin out if you're not experienced with this aircraft. It does like the wing stall. But here we're just trying to cut into this 51 circle. I'm gonna start coming off the throttle, try and squeak them out in front of us. I'm gonna go over his nose now. He's out in front. And his wing's off. What he could have done differently is probably use his flaps a lot more. That would have gotten to slow him down and tighten his turn as well. Alright, now I'm in the D-13. This is a premium aircraft that was in the game for about a decade and they took it out for whatever reason. I forgot to mention I'm flying with no HUD as well, just to make it a little more immersive for you guys. But here we go, we're going to go into the merge. And basically it's going to be the same thing, we're just going to have our takeoff flaps. The D9 Dora is probably the most maneuverable one. This one's a little bit heavier. It's still a very good aircraft. But against a 51, it is hard. Yeah, this one does not feel as maneuverable, and you can see him starting to take my 6, and he's taking it. Okay, so this is where I'm going to have to nose counter him, and basically just get out of the way of his guns by using our roll rate. Slowly trying to reel him in until he overshoots. Once he starts to pull us in, I'm going to flip the other way. Oh, I flat spinned it, wing stalled it. Oh, I recovered. And this is where the experience comes in. I think he probably thought we were dead in a flat spin. But we just took his entire wing off and he's dead. Good game. He almost had us. I mean, I would say he probably won that fight until, you know, until he took his eyes off of us. Alright, we're in the final aircraft. This is the Focke-Wulf 190C. This one's the most maneuverable. This will give a lot of props a run for their money, especially if you got someone experienced flying it. But I will say this is probably the most difficult prop aircraft to fly in the entire game. But look at us come around. We already got guns on them. We are running a big turbocharger on this. That's why it has the weird exhaust pipes. And also the massive radiator. We are blacking out. How to counter that is you just push down on the stick a little bit right when you're about to pass out, and we wing stalled it. See, that's why this thing's so tricky. I will say the takeoff flaps don't rip until like 600 kilometers as well. But this thing will just randomly wing stall. Like, its physics are not modeled correctly, I would say, in this game. It has the most wonky physics ever. I have a clip of me getting shot by a Spitfire's machine gun, and the plane just completely turns upside down, loses all its energy, and just falls out of the sky. But anyways, here we go. We're pulling this guy into the crosshair. Bad marksmanship, but we got a radiator leak on him. Down. Alright. Yeah, it's not much of a challenge with this aircraft. This one's pretty good at dogfighting.